everyone's up to speed right now. So there we go, we're recording. Okay, so I hope everyone has eaten their lunch or dinner and have the energy today to listen to our very, very powerful and great guests for today. So we will be interviewing our hot microgrants, selected hot microgrants for tonight. We will begin with Map Makoko, then mental health awareness, OSM Cameroon, and OSM Iraq. Okay. So I'll be introducing our first speaker. So they're from Makoko. So they trained women as drone pilots to map Makoko, one of Africa's largest slums, to improve service delivery for residents. So may we have Mr. John Eromosele of Map Makoko.
Hi, Miko. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for
Okay, John,
having me. Yeah.
you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just stop my video so that you can share your screen.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good to have me here and meet with everyone. So I'll be sharing my screen right about now. So we can begin. I hope everyone can see my screen at this point. Miko, just confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen there, John. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So hello everyone, my name is John Eromosele. I work for Code for Africa, and I was one of the project managers in the Map Makoko project and a grantee from Hotsum. So I'll be talking in the next apparently 9 minutes, because my time has already started counting, and about the project. So I'll talk about Code for Africa. Code for Africa, it's one of Africa's, in fact, it is Africa's largest indigenous civic tech lab that it's providing data for actionable information to journalists, to civic technologists, and citizens at large. So we can make informed decisions. So government can make informed decisions and be able to change, offer profile solutions to common social problems. So we're in these various countries. Because of time, I wouldn't dwell much on that. These are some of our sponsors. We're a global network, and we're able to profile solutions to most of, using technology, to most of these common social problems. Now, we do not parachute into communities. So across Africa, we are Pan-African, so we localize in these countries. So we have local teams in different countries to support on all our projects. So we have the academy and a whole lot of projects we run. So I just hope this view is not obstructing some of the content. Okay. Okay. So this is these are the support funders of the project. So it was funded by HOT and the Pulitzer Center. So talking about project funders, we actually did not look into funding or budget funds like before starting the project. We identified the problem that in Makoko there is no official map that is properly or adequately representing this community for whom they are. So on any official map, it was just a blank dot, like a spot, you know. So, and that was not good for planning purpose. And as a result, Makoko has suffered a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of challenges. Okay, so we positioned ourselves to be able to solve this problem, looked for every requirement, what we need from the paperwork, the project plan, and a whole lot of things, the teams to put together. So we worked on all of this, and then it came to budget. We started looking for how we can do this. So I would say we always put budget last to see how we can solve this problem. Then budget will definitely come. So when you position yourself properly and your projects and objectives are clearly stated, there you'll be able to get funds that would align to the purpose. That was when HOT came in and we were able to get something started. So Map Makoko, as the name says, it's a data-driven and people-centric project. Okay, so one project, 3,000, over 3,000 people. Okay, so that's actually not a project that is streamlined to just a certain specific kind of people, because in Makoko you meet people from different walks of life. Okay, different categories of people live there in that part of the city, but they are disconnected from the mega city, the term mega city. Okay, so we had to see how we can solve problems like accessibility, inclusiveness, okay, unemployment, and a whole lot of other things. We do not have the solutions to most of those problems, but one good thing we do is to provide that baseline map data that could help with this. So that was what exactly we did. Okay, so Makoko is home to over 300,000 residents and not properly represented. So that means for in terms of planning, they will be misrepresented, they will not be planned properly for when support or relief materials are being sent to this region and all of that planning purpose. So, but actually when it comes to the time of elections, you see there is no always miscalculation or planning for them in that. There's always enough ballot boxes and um, ballot papers and all of that for them. Okay, so now, Dominion, we brought Makoko as one of the Dominion project that covers land rights and some other issues around land rights. Okay, Dominion is one of Code for Africa projects. You can check it out by visiting dominion.africa. Okay, so now we decided to create an open map data, and which we're able to do this with support of Hotsom. Okay, so now we had some in-class training. We trained over 32 participants, about 17 females and 15 males. We trained them on how to use drones to collect data. Okay, then we also had some field sessions. But now the unique thing about this project is that we didn't just go into Makoko and did the project as experts. We came in to transfer knowledge. We built capacity of these locals, and they were able to join in this project and map their own homes. It's also exciting seeing them mapping their own homes, identifying their houses from all the views and all of those excitement. And one other thing is when you're having field projects, those of us that are into field projects like this will understand that you always get some persons in the community that might want to be apprehensive because they might not understand the project or what you're doing. So one thing is that they would always, when they come, they see that it is their sisters and their brothers that are actually doing the project. So they will just smile and were like, oh, so my sister now know how to fly a drone, to collect data in their own community, So, and outside that, we maybe wouldn't have considered drone initially, but because of the terrain, Makoko is a floating community. It's on the floating. It's a floating community that is built on silts. Okay, so mapping the area by foot would not be very easy. To be very challenging, and we needed a high resolution imagery. So those of us that contributed to the mosaic to mapping, mapping the mosaic, will be able to understand that this was very clear and everyone was excited mapping it. Okay, so now it also involved data collections. We went collecting data by canoe around the nooks and crannies of Makoko, and it was quite exciting. We customized Open Data Kit app, an ODK app, to that for that purpose. And now you can also find the data. It's made open on Open Africa. Open Africa is one of Code for Africa's data portal where we publish open data. Okay. This is a view of Makoko at the moment. Um, Miko, hope I've not overstayed my time. How many more minutes do I have? Okay, so leveraging open data community, we created the first open map community in this floating city. Now we have a team of ladies that are able to collect data, able to contribute to the Openstreetmap. So these are the drone footage. You can see some details as even a canoe from this drone, high resolution drone footage. So we took over 990 photos from the area view, and we stitched them together, and we're able to import this into the OpenStreetMap. So one key thing is data journalism. So it's a vital part of the project, and we encourage you add this to the project. So two approaches, we talk about data viz and data tools. Okay, so this is our flagship story, Neglected and Unmapped. It was published on The Guardian. Okay, so town hall and community engagement was a vital part, very, very key. So we have to get the buy-in of the leaders of the community. So now this is a list of the stories we published from the data we collected. So that is one part of journalism that is very exciting, evidence-based journalism. So this slide will make available, so you can check out some of these links over time. Then these were just a few of behind the scenes and a few tips for us. So tips to amplify your project. We say plan a project properly. You know, you need to capture the pre, during, and post-project activities. You need to see that ahead as a project manager. And you should be able to ensure that your project meets the needs of the people, then take community engagement seriously. Data journalism is a vital component of your project. You engage the media and see how they can showcase what the impact of your project is all about. This is just Huru Map. This is one of the use of OpenStreetMap that we have used over time. So now next steps about Map Makoko, it's community building. So we're building the ecosystem and see how we can continue building their capacity. That is all from me. If you want to read more about some journalism courses that can help you, you go to courses.academy.africa. We have a lot of courses there. That is from my end, Miko. I will take questions if there are any.
Thank you very much, John. That was a very fast and juicy topic. And I really love that women are exposed with drone piloting and such. So we have questions here, John, from our Q&A panel. So one question is, great work in Makoko. What is code for...
You can't even tell your friends or family about it, let alone ask for information on where hosting sites to do this. But in order to use the service, I also had to learn to code the map myself. I used Mapbox GLJS and used OSM based map. So this used to be the website and the mental health awareness map. Um, So the map got shared to a lot of people and they also expressed their intent to help. And I thought of making it into a crowdsourced map because I can't just rely on my own knowledge to map all these facilities. People's local knowledge could help. So I tried to code the map and make it into a crowdsourcing map using Leaflet, Mapbox, Carto, and GitHub pages. From the free website, I also moved to mentalhealthawareness.com to make the website easier to remember. This way, more people may be able to access the information easier and more people who may need it may be reached. July 2018 was the first time I was able to share about the project with the OSM community during the State of the Map conference in Milan. The PH local community has also been very supportive of the project. We were able to partner with universities, student organizations, and other mental health advocates to conduct mapathons, workshops, and other mental health events. Before the hot microgrant, all these activities, website and domain hosting, and other costs to maintain and promote the project were self-funded. Some were from small donations from family and friends, but the local OSM community and partner organizations have have provided us free venues to conduct most of our activities, to teach the volunteers on how to map and about mental health. In January 2020, Hot Philippines has helped us in partnership with the Youth for Mental Health Coalition in teaching mental health advocates about Openstreetmap and on mapping mental health services through the Mental Health Awareness Project. And through the Hot Microgrant, we were also able to continue mapping mental health services, teaching volunteers about mapping and raising awareness on mental health through workshops, activities, and social media presence. Last June, June 6, 2020, we held a mental health mapathon wherein we have partnered with 9 mental health and mapping organizations. A total of 349 participants signed up to the event, and this was also live streamed on Facebook, where there's a total of 847 unique viewers. Yeah, so even through the pandemic, we were able to conduct activities because of the Hot Micro Grant. Last Saturday, also August 15, we were able to welcome 25 new members to our team. From one, I used to be the only member of the team, but then we grew to 8 last year, and then now we're composed of 33 members. And during this volunteer meetup, we've also taught the new members about Openstreetmap and mapping on mental health awareness. The microgrant has also helped us increase our reach, which is important during this time of the pandemic. So through the funding, we were able to boost posts on social media, focusing on information, education, and communication materials on mental health. Like these sample photos or posts we've posted on social media to reach more people about mental health awareness. So about checking on your friends during the pandemic, but how to talk to your kids about the coronavirus, managing COVID stress, debunking self-care myths, about the Mental Health Act, which was actually signed last June 2018, about the COVID-19 situation in the Philippines, day 100 of the community quarantine, and lots of reminders for people to take care of their mental health. So through the microgrant, we were also able to help students for their online learning. Last May, we encouraged them to share their mental health stories through mapping emotions and provide mental health community care through Here. The students, through free Facebook, messaged us their entries, and then we picked top 5 winners of mobile load, which they can use for mobile data to enable them to join their online classes. Because we know that not all of us have internet access or can be able to attend classes through online means. But due to the pandemic, a lot of us need to do that. So we tried helping these students, especially in May during their finals week, through this contest. These are some of the winners, inputs from the winners. So I'll just read fast. So here's from Here. It's about sharing their details and messages for people to let them know that they are there if they need someone to talk to. So I'm going to read it anyway. Sorry. And this one, it's mental health stories. It's from Mapping Emotion. So I'll just read this one. So in this pandemic, according to Dina, most of us are psychologically vulnerable. She's a daughter of a security guard in a supermarket and an OFW in Qatar. So she just told us the story about how their family was dealing with their mental health and their health in general during the pandemic. And it's actually very encouraging for other people to take care of their family's mental health too. So we also partnered with Mapbox for these maps. So Mapbox stories for sharing stories, LGBTQIA stories, and stories of bullying and discrimination to let people understand that these stories are important first steps in stopping more from happening. On August 28th, we will have this Zoom Mustahan. It's an online uh, interactive discussion on loving oneself. And yeah, we still have a lot of activities in line for 2020. In September, it's Suicide Prevention Month, and then Mental Health Awareness Month in October. And we also plan on updating the database and making a directory or booklet of mental health services, skill sharing for workshops for members, partnerships, and more mapathons. Here's one of the skill sharing workshops we've done, and we'll be doing more with in partnership too with other organizations. It's like the Design for Mental Health uh, event. So we still have a lot of activities in line for the team and the project, and we are very grateful for the hot microgrants, and it has helped a lot in ensuring that we can help or continue helping others, and hopefully once we've mapped all the mental health services in the country, be able to provide these data for evidence-based decision making and helping the country reach SDG 3, or ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all ages. So thank you, Openstreetmap
Thank
team.
you.
We are in Openstreetmap. Thank you.
Yay. Thank you very much, Andy. You have done so much. There are a lot of events already. Anyway, are you ready for your Q&A session?
No.
Yeah, you have no choice. No, just kidding. Anyway, I have a few questions here for you, and I'd be more than happy to throw it to you. I think you're ready. So, one question is coming here from our chat box. So, they're asking, which tool did you use to make this presentation? Yeah.
I use slides.com, but the photos were I made the photos first before adding them on slides.com.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Andy, for teaching me that as well.
It looks nice.
Another question. Yeah. Another question is, what is or are the lessons you would want to share to future micrograntees?
um Lessons. Uh a lot. Because especially during the pandemic, it's difficult to to go according to plan, if especially since, for example, in this micro grant, we had activities planned out for 2020, but because of the pandemic, there had been a lot of changes that we had to make. So just be patient, and don't forget to set aside time for yourself, and also set aside time for the project. Yeah.
Very wonderful answer. So just be ready and have and have a backup plan. Just be
Yes.
ready. It's
And always plan
anytime.
with you.
Yeah, and we should plan for another pandemic. No, just kidding. Another question is, what are your possible plans in the next 1 to 2 years for your organization?
Actually, I hope that in the next 1 to 2 years, there won't really be a need for the map, for the map, because hopefully by then there's no stigma on mental health, and mental health services is really accessible. But if not, that's a long shot. But if not, I hope that we have already mapped the available services by then, and but the project is still continues, and we can still map new ones and partner with the Department of Health, hopefully. Yeah, but the end goal is there's no need for the map at all.
Yes, love. Anyway, thank you very much, Andy, for giving us your time, and more power to mental health awareness. We still have more projects coming in.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There. So are you ready for our next speaker? So our next speaker, their organization created an open source OSM-based spatial data infrastructure for communities in different African countries. So from OSM Cameroon, may I call on Mr. Willy Frank, SOB? Are you
Hello,
there?
everyone.
Hello, Willy. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, Willy. So you may have now the stage or the Zoom meeting and share your screen for your presentation.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Let me start. Can you see the screen with the Africa continent with the?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Willy.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm Willy Frank, president of Openstreetmap Cameroon. Or maybe I should switch on my camera.
Go ahead. You can switch on. There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
It's
you.
better.
So we have benefit from hot microgrant, and what we wanted to do was to duplicate and scale a platform that we already have in Cameroon. Based on our experience, we wanted to make it to be benefit for other countries across Africa. Definitely, I wanted to start with a small movie because I didn't intend to present this, but as I saw Makoko, it was very interesting because we have prepared something on, and Makoko was part of it. And then I just want to start with this 1 or 2 minute video, and then I will switch on my presentation.
Go ahead.
Je suis ce que je suis grâce à où je me situe. Mais comment bâtir un avenir commun si on a du mal à trouver son chemin? We are now stepping into a time where position turns into my information. Information creates your data, and data leads to our development. A time where what was obsolete regarding our geography, topography or cartography, and to some extent our demography, can now be permanently kept up to date. This is all possible thanks to nothing but our philosophy. One which emphasizes that I am because we are. No one takes unless everyone shares. And since we all agree, then there is no room for greed. Une philosophie qui incarne le je suis parce que nous sommes. Et si jamais on ressent un vide, c'est parce qu'on aura toujours besoin d'un autre pour nous servir de guide. Car nous avons tous la carte en main. Ladies and gentlemen from the world, brothers and sisters of Africa, what was a text is now in context. The myth is now almighty, and what was a fantasy is now a legacy. We have a continent to build.
So these are the 20 countries that we will be working on for the next coming months. Just at the end of the video, I will try to present the idea behind. Yes, as you have seen, you can visit the website. And I should be fast now. Let me give a fast situation about GOSM. What is GOSM? I think in Cameroon and in most countries in Africa, we have a lot of problems regarding geospatial information. And it's very difficult in this context of decentralization to build a real territorial approach of development. And startup and a lot of people really have challenges with location-based services. And as we all know, there are different domains where geospatial can be very important, from transport, town planning, health, and a lot of domain, even for the Sustainable Development Goal. So what is the situation is that we have a lot of projects going on in our countries, but there's lack of geospatial infrastructure, and some projects cost a lot, and people does not really communicate on what they have. So in this context, we thought that it was very interesting to check and to see about building a new solution or a new approach based on participatory approach. That is to see if with the bottom-up approach, we can build something based on the asset that we have in our society, that is the human capital. So this was really a paradigm shift we have to put in place. So according to what we planned in Cameroon, we started to build a platform that was called Geo Cameroon, but as we wanted to scale the platform in Africa, we decided to call it Geo OSN because it is based on OSN. It is a location intelligent platform. Three words you have to have in your mind is data, connect, and empower. We really want to take advantage on all the open geospatial data that are available. All the open data, as far as they have a spatial dimension, we are very interested to work on it. We just have to structure them in different thematics. Also, people have to be connected. It's not only about data. We need to raise awareness, also best practice, success story, connect people from different countries is also a good goal that we have. We need to empower people. We need to help them to engage, to enhance the opportunities that are available. You know, it's also about encouraging people to take the risk. So I will finish by showing a small demo of what we have. Okay, this is an example of the platform on Tanzania. As you see, you can choose different, you have a lot of thematic, you can choose to click primary education like this. You will have on your map, let me check always when you have a demo. You have base map in your left, different base map where you can choose. You have national maps, you have local map, and the different thematic that are organized. And you can work on it and click, and maybe, internet issue, let me just refresh my internet. But this project that you have at the national level is also available at the local level. So when I will present the Tanzania experience, maybe I will switch it to this local level project based on the same infrastructure in Bamako, where you have another view, but this is based on the local and municipalities scale. And with this project, you have a lot of thematics, and most of these data are from Openstreetmap. Let me check if we can do the presentation on the small demo on Bamako. It seems as I have an internet issue, but can you hear me?
Loud and clear
Yes.
from my side.
Okay.
Yes, Willy, loud and clear.
And why I can't access to the presentation? But feel free, you can connect on www.gosn.org, and you can do it on your own site. And I don't have, how many do I have again for my presentation, please? How many minutes left, please?
2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. You know, always when you have a demo, there's something, I don't know, maybe because I have shared my screen and normally it should work. Let me try something else, because we have just built the platform on to use the result of what you are doing. That is to analyze the problem and then try to solve something. It's not just about technology. It's not a toy. You need to ask yourself, is what you are building is going to solve a specific problem? And also, you also need to be open. You know, it's all about collaboration. Collaboration is key. and you need to bring people together to buy in, and this is something very interesting. And you need to think about what is the really motivation of people coming into your project in order to give them this passion. And then someone may want to build a business model on this. Someone may just want to have information that, or may just want to be trained. You need to identify really the needs that people have and the benefit that they can have engaging with you.
Thank you very much, Willy. So I could see here in your map that there are a lot of other countries that are taking part on it, right? Wasn't it difficult coordinating with various countries and places for this platform that you're showing us?
It's just a starting point. We just launched the platform last 2 weeks. Let's say it's based on like 3 years experience of what we have done in Cameroon. So we just launched the platform on 20 countries across Africa last 2 weeks. And we decided just yesterday to build a platform on Beirut, so to help the local community there also. So now is where it starts. We need now to collaborate, to exchange, to train, to be open. That the real job is now.
Wow, that's 20 countries. That's very big. Anyway, thank you very much, Willy, for your time with us today. I'm sure our future micrograntees have gotten some tips from you, from your presentation, and especially your answers to our questions. Thank you very much, Willy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Our next presenter's organization, creating maps that support humanitarian response amid ongoing conflict and natural disasters, with a focus on training youth to map their surroundings and identify their needs. From OSM Iraq, may I call on Mr. Muhammad Diller. Hello.
Hey, hey, how are you guys?
We're doing fine. How about you?
Thanks a lot. So hopefully all is good and safe.
Yes. Anyway, are you ready for your presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So the stage is yours.
Thanks a lot. So let me share my screen. Okay. So basically now we are talking about OSM Iraq and what we are planning to do and what we have done so far. So basically OSM Iraq through the microgrant, this is the main aim for today's brief about OSM. So first of all, I will go through what we have as a global shaper, Herbal Hub. So basically me as a Mohammed Faisal, I'm the team leader for a project we called Mapping in Global Shapers Herbal Hub. So basically through that project, we got microgrant for mapping the Herbal city. So we got engaged with universities and institutes and some independent people. So basically we have 2 universities as so far. So we have Tishik University, and in addition to that, we have Polytechnical University. Also, we have some engineers and mapping lovers here. So our aim was in Microgrant 2020 to map all the neighborhoods inside the 120-meter ring road, which is almost 80 neighborhoods. And then after that, as a pilot project, we do a mapping for catch basin for 2 to 3 neighborhoods. In addition to that, as my colleague mentioned, we wanted to train youths. So basically, till now, our aim like to do 15 trainings, but so far we did only 10 training. So if I may ask you guys, is the screen is good enough? You can see my screen? Miko?
Yes.
Thanks a lot. So let me just hide this. Okay, so basically this is Iraq country. So basically Herbal, this is the location for Herbal city. It's a north part of Iraq. As you can see, we have Syria and Lebanon and Iran, Turkey. So as you can see from the project that we already started in hot tasks, so the red zone, it's inside the 120-meter ring road. We will map out all the neighborhoods inside those. As you can see, we have green, like validated cells. So we have good progress so far. And as you can see, we have a lot of ring roads. So the major one is 120-meter road, which is the biggest one. Okay, so I will just give a brief about the trend of the progress for the microgrant project. So as you can see, from the beginning of the January 2020, we started to do the progress for validating the task. And in November, earlier December, we started to do the mapping. So we have good mapping so far. So I will give you the progress in next slides. So far we have 60 mappers, 10 validators, total contribution is 63. As you can see, we have the level of mapping mappers. We have the majority is beginner because we trained the youth from universities, which they didn't have any background for mapping. So a few of them is intermediate, and let's say 25% of them are advanced. So this is a bit of recap for the information for our project. So regarding the mechanism, how we implement that project. So basically we have almost 12 volunteers from different groups. So we put them in two groups, Group A and Group B. So a lot of benefit from that disaggregation happened. So basically motivation. For example, Group A consists of 6 people and Group B also the same number. So we gave them the similar tasks in parcels that we have in the task OSM manager. So previously the figure was not like that, but then we motivated them. As you can see, one of them relying on roads and other group is relying on buildings. So it was good progress so far. So achievement, I love this slide. So out of 80 neighborhood, we have 56 neighborhood done through mapping. So it's almost 70% of the buildings. Then for mapping out the catch basin still, we will start in October. We have some challenges regarding that because it's physically, we have to be on site. Then this is something happened recently. For some of our volunteers, they asked me, and there was a post in Twitter. I talked with Geoffrey about it. So some of the OSM volunteers, they told me that they wanna, help Beirut for the blasting area. So there was a code for 9164 in the task manager, hot task manager. So we decided to help and map out some of the parcels for Beirut. And it was urgent task, 1 week task for the volunteers. It was 3 to 4 volunteers. So they mapped out almost 20 parcels there. Okay, this is the main thing, like, visual thing that I want to show you now. It's about the updates, what was before microgrant in Herbal City and what is now. So this is the center of city. As you can see in August 2020, 2019. Sorry, I think this is wrong. Okay, yeah, this one. So you'll see the difference between the time between January 2019 and August 2020, like this month. So we have a lot of, let's say, mapping of buildings. And if you see that, you'll see huge edits. And this is another neighborhood. You'll see it's so crowded, right? And this one also, this is another one. Yeah, so almost I'm done with the presentation. So I tried to recap it and to be on time. I think I have some more minutes, right, Miko?
Yes, you do. You still have 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I will try to receive the questions if there's any.
Are you ready? Okay,
Yes,
I'm
please.
going to be ready. I'm not ready.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so
Sorry.
okay, I'm ready for your question. Here you go. So aside from the adjustments due to the pandemic, I'm sure some activities were halted or stopped. What is or are the most difficult challenges while implementing the project?
So basically, regarding the pandemic, so thanks for God that before the lockdown and curfew, we start to do the online meetings. But the main issue that I faced during that time was the examination for the volunteers. So the majority of the volunteers was student from college. So they faced that period. It was almost 2 months. And because they took the exam periodly, so one exam per week, so they didn't had that motivation to start to do the mapping, and they had a lot of homework to do. So this was the main challenge, and it wasn't in our plan because pandemic and curfew suddenly happened in Herbal City, and it was lockdown everywhere. This is the main thing.
Yeah, I totally agree that the pandemic has really given its toll to, especially to our volunteers and our activities. Thank you very much for that answer. So we have a question from our participant. So Rebecca says, congratulations on growing from 3 to 63 members. What key activity or activities do you think will sustain those 60 new members?
Yeah, so basically, let me distinguish between our microgrant team and the members for the mapping. So basically, the member for mapping is globally shared, and almost 20 out of those 63 mappers, it was out of the microgrant project. So they asked me, and what is the instruction for mapping? So basically, it was not from Herbal City, it was outside of Herbal City. Some of them was even outside of Iraq. I hope I answered the question. If not, please remind me that. Okay, no.
Yes, loud and clear. So one more question. What are the challenges of growing an OSM community in Iraq? And how are we overcoming these challenges?
Yes, so basically this is the main point for me. It's imagery, the satellite imagery. We have challenge with that. So basically we approach Geoffrey regarding that. We have two sources of imagery inside the OSM. So basically we have Bing Map and Maxer. So Bing Map is, if you compare it to Maxer, is more clear, but it's out of dated. And Maxer is not clear, but updated. So we were struggling how to map Herbal City, as you see from the mapping. If you see the screen here, you will see it's very crowded, right? Herbal City, and all the buildings are beside each other. Sometimes we couldn't distinguish between the, let's say, the wall between two buildings. And we used Maxer, which is more updated, basically for Herbal City after 2013. It was more development inside the Herbal City. So, and Bing map for Herbal City is superior for 2013. So the quality is very good, but the buildings are missing. Maxa, we have a lot of buildings, but the quality is very low. So this is the main challenge. Even there was a mechanism approaching Maxer to ask something new for Herbal City, only through OSM, providing a link for us. But unfortunately, till now, we didn't get any response from them. So there was a form, we fill it to get a link to get to OSM. So basically, this was the main challenge for us for building. Basically, this is the main point.
Yes. Yeah, it's very hard to really draw if your imagery is all together as one, right? So
Right.
so another question, Muhammad, is what is your motivation in doing this? Because this is very inspiring, very, very inspiring.
Yeah, so basically, me as a civil engineer and working in humanitarian sector in the United Nations, so we know the main thing to project the, let's say, the exact location of, let's say, pandemic or any humanitarian crisis. So the first thing you have to have the map. And I know my, let's say, my city, they are not interested in those. And we know if we don't have that mapping, so we will be lost. Even some crisis happened in 2019. ISIS came very near to every city. It was almost 30 kilometers, and there wasn't any map, and we didn't know where they are. So we started to think with my colleagues to do some mapping for every city, even if earthquake happened, which happened in 2017. So we have to provide something for rescue our people. Unfortunately, still we are few people that we are doing this, and nobody understands us at this stage. But hopefully, through you guys, we will advocate for mapping.
Thank you very much, Muhammad, for that answer. Anyway, if there are any more questions, you can always drop chat room. And more power to you guys there. Okay, Muhammad, your story is very inspiring, and I hope more people can help you map and buildings in the cities in Iraq.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, I have another question here. Someone there. Yes. Do beginners map to these densely populated areas? And do humanitarian organization help you or use your updated maps?
Yeah, so basically, yes, the beginners, they map to those dense location because all urban city is dense. So we don't have level of those inside 120-meter road is all dense, all on the same level. Unfortunately, we don't have this location is better than this. So let's say the beginner do the big areas. This is first one, and first part of the question. And second part, we didn't get any support or assistance from any organization. And because we have a lot of security concerns in Iraq, basically, I don't know if you know, we have, as Herbal City, we are north of Iraq. We called Kurdistan, and different than south and center. So we have a lot of admin issues between Iraq and Kurdistan. So sometimes we are Iraqi, sometimes we are Kurdistani. So we have two nationality, but one passport. So basically we have those concerns. So we have to be very careful when we are doing some mapping. We hope that the enemies, they will not use those maps against us. So we don't want to support them to provide them map. So this is why we have those issues.
Yeah, I understand. It's very difficult uh, for that. And thank you again, Muhammad. I guess are all of questions that are being asked to you. You have answered very well. Thank you.
More than welcome. I hope I can answer it all.
Yes. Thank you very much. So for our next session, may I please call on Joffrey? Are you there, Joffrey? You will be presenting your own microgram. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, thank you, Miko. I'm just here to make some closing remarks because I think we are almost at the end of the webinar. But thank you, everyone who has joined the session. I think that was very interesting to hear what the microgrant program through HOT is able to do to support communities. And these are not the only communities. These are just four, but we have supported over 30 communities with micro grants. So there are so many more stories you can hear. And the good thing that we want to, in the next 5 years, be able to support up to 94 countries with micro grants. So we really want to get your feedback about the micro grants program and how we can improve it. So I've dropped a link in the chat and really need your feedback. So if you can tell us about your community and the challenges you're facing, that will be really great. We normally have community webinars, so I encourage you to also join the next one. And also tomorrow we do have a training webinar of introduction to JOSM. So for those who are interested in upping their mapping skills from ID editor and starting to map with JOSM, I've dropped the link in the chat. You can do register and get to join that session. Yeah, otherwise I'd like to just say thank you very much to our presenters. It was good learning about your projects, and thank you everyone for attending. Yeah, back to you, Miko.
There we go. Thank you very much, Joffrey. I hope everyone had a good time with our webinar. See you again tomorrow for our GOSM webinar for an introduction. And have a great day, night, morning, evening, lunch, and everything. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Can we have a picture? Can we have a picture, Joffrey, for our panelists, our
Yes,
speakers?
yes.
Okay.
Let's have a picture.
To
Yeah.
one. Sorry,
Great
participants,
suggestion.
in our avoidance to do anything to get bombed, we're going to limit the picture to the panelists. Are you still there, Mohammed?
Okay.
Will?
So John and Willie, please turn on your video, and
Yes.
Annalie,
Yes.
if you can. So John, are you able to turn off on your camera? We're going to take a photo now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just put some sounds.
Okay.
Yeah. One
Okay,
more.
there you are.
Finally,
All
are you
right,
there?
good. So I'm
Done,
going
really?
okay. I'm going to count up to, I'm going to count to 3, then I'll take the photo, okay? So just give me,
Go. 1,
a second,
2,
3, go.
1, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Thank you very much to our beautiful and handsome panelists, and see you soon again. More power, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.